We're thinking about doubles today. So what progression is there when we're learning about doubles, right from the early years through to sort of midway through primary school? What steps are there we can do learning our doubles facts? So simple, first thing is, do the children actually know what we mean by double? So double is when we take the same number and we have it there twice. So here we've got a picture of 6 and another 6. And you need to start with visuals before you move into straight numbers. So here's some pictures of doubles. I've got a double rainbow. I've got 2 and 2. I've got the spider there. He's got 4 legs on each side. I've got the picture of the people. There's 3 and another group of 3. Common pattern there on a dice. It's 5 and 5. The domino again. So these are the first ones that children need to learn, and they need to have some pictures to help them with this one. 5 and 5 is usually an easy one because you could use your hands, as well as 10 and 10. So then this is my favorite tool to teach doubling. So when I teach doubling, I teach the children that people are going to get on this bus. So I would say, okay, so people are going to get on the bus. I've got one person here. If I double that, then there's another person moves on the top. If 2 more people get on the bus, that makes 3 on the bottom. If I double that, now I've got 6 people on the bus. And I could ask the children to make me double. Can you make me double 5? Can you make me double 7? So they can actually show me they understand the concept. So let's just oh, that didn't work. Let's just rub those off. So if I ask the child to make me double 7, I'd give them this bus picture and I'd give them some counters and I'd say, okay, so can you show me double 7? So I'd expect them to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Double 7 means I've got the same number of people on the top of my bus. Just like that. You might want to use other images, but the bus has always worked really well for me. So some images to help you with doubles to 10. So double 6 is 12, so your egg cartons are great for that one. Using the spider again, 2 spiders, 8 legs, 16. For double 10, two sets of hands. Double 7 is a tricky one because there isn't really a nice image that works for that one. And Channel 9 here in Australia works really well for doubling 9. So some strategies for doubling those simple numbers. If you can double 1, you can also double 10. So because you can see the 1 and the 1, so that double 10 would be 20. And you can use the same strategy for doing double 30, so you know 3 and 3, so then you can do 30 and 30. You can extend that up to 200 and 200. Children really like this in the early years because I can double a big number. Slightly trickier, 50 and 50, because it's going to be 5 and 5, which is 10. But then you've got to remember this actually now going to be 100, but it's a very, very important double that children know. So it's a good one to make sure you include. So let's look at some strategies for doubling different numbers. Once you know those simple doubles facts, you can use them to double numbers like these, where you don't make a very big double. So we're not worrying about numbers where we go into where the 10s is changing, where the 1s is changing. So double 21 is simple because you can just double the 2 is 4, double the 1 is 2. 42. Same with double 32. Double 2 is 6. Double 2 is 4. Double 4 is 8. Double 4 is 8. Double 1 is 2. Double 3 is 6. Really, really simple doubling facts there. Then once we've got this one sorted, we can move on to numbers where the first number is going to go bigger than 10. So when I double 71, if I double the 70, I'm going to get 140. If I double the 1, I'm going to get 2, and if I add those together, 142. Now, some children will be able to do this in their head quite quickly. Some will need to see it written down and see the different steps. If they already know how to add 140 plus 2 without counting on, and they can see how the place value works there, that really is a really good skill to have in place, and another one you can work on alongside this. So doubling 84, I'm going to have 160. I'm going to double the 4, makes 8. Which will give me 168. 92, I would double the 9, 180, plus double 2 is 4, and that will give me 184. And the last one on this page, I'm going to double 50, which gives me 100, plus double 3 is 6, 106. Good example there of checking they understand that place value. So the next step is when the 1's number is bigger than 10. This is where it starts to get a little tricky and they need to employ their place value. So I can do double 20 as 40, but when I do double 7, that makes 14. And it's really important now that they understand that they've got to add these two together, that you can't just go 414 or 4014, that you've actually got to think about how many 10s you've got and how many 1s you've got to get 54. Usually children get this after a few practices. So I'm going to double 39, double the 30 is 60, that's easy, double the 9 is 18, now I've got to add those two together and I'm going to get 78. Could do the same with double 26, double the 20 is 40, double the 6 is 12, and then I've got to add them together to get 52. Children shouldn't need with these numbers to line it up and go like this. I would hope that they can add these numbers mentally and they don't need to use that to work it out. I would hope they can see that, okay, I've got 4 10s and 1 10, that's going to be 50, and then I've got 2 1s, 52. And the last one here, double 49 is 80 plus 18, add those together, so I'm going to add the 8 and the 1, which will give me 90, and then just 8, 98. So the last step is where both numbers are bigger than 10. So here I've got 175, so I double the 70 as I get 140. I double the 5 and I get 10, and then I have to add those together and I get 150. Children need to be able to do the previous steps first before they move to this one. So if I double 96, I'm going to double the 90 and get 180. And I would use that language, double the 90. I wouldn't say double the 9, I would actually say double the 90. Plus double the 6, which is 12, and then I'm going to have to add these together. Now hopefully the children can recognize that we've got 100, we've got 9 10s and 2 1s here, and then we would have 192. I wouldn't expect them to have to write it out like this to solve it, because really that's not showing that they're using their mental math skills. The next one I have here is double 88, so 160 plus 16, putting it together I'm going to get 176. And then the last one here I've got as an example, double 60 is 120, double 7 is 14. I'm going to add those together using my knowledge of place value. I might even go how many 1s, how many 10s, how many 100s, and do it that way. Hope this has given you some ideas on how you can teach your children how to double numbers. My favorite game for practicing this is playing cards. So you can just pull out any 2 playing cards and double them. So once they've learned all those strategies, you can do that, or you can just be selective in the cards that you choose. So here I pulled out 2 and a 9. So this would be then 29, and I would double 29. So I'd be going, okay, I can double the 20, so that will be 40 plus 18, and then I would get 58. Or if I put out the same cards, I could put them the other way around, depending on what I want to practice. So I could do, okay, this is 92. So if I double 92, double 90 is 180, double 2 is 4. I'm going to add those together and get 184. Or you can just pull out any random numbers. Here I've got 87, so I would double so I make 87. I could have made 78. That's a good thing about cards. You can tweak the cards depending on how the students are progressing and how they're responding with their answers. If we need to make it harder or make it easier. I usually take all the picture cards out and the 10 because that muddles the game. So 87, I'd double the 80, which is 160. I'd double the 7, which is 14. And then I'd add those together to get 174. So, if you'd like to read more, there's more on my blog post at tracyashbridge.com.